Alright guys, welcome back to Deep South Bayou Diesel. What we've got going on here today is we are changing out the upper ball joint bushings. So as you can see, I've got some severe wear on the outer portion of my tire, whereas the inside looks practically new. So as you can see, and it's because it's leaned out too far. So the ball joint bushing, or the camber bushing is the correct term, that is actually a half a degree. So you can either have half a degree positive or half a degree negative. I need about 2 to 3 degrees negative to pull it back in that way. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and pull this tire off and then get the remaining tools that I need to go ahead and start pulling everything else off. And I'll show you guys how super simple this is. Alright, so I've got the tire zipped off, tossed it over here off to the side. So you heard me say that I need negative 2 degrees. So the reason why is, if you look right here, I've got a 2-inch, I think that's 2.5 or 3-inch lift on this truck. So when you lift a truck, it throws everything out of whack. And a lot of people, they just throw a lift kit or a level kit on, and then they ease on down the road, and they're like, why'd this $500, which this is not a $500 tire, but some people will spend $500 on a tire, and they're wondering, well, why is it not wearing properly? You want to go and spend another $500 on a tire, in less than a year? Now, these tires have been on this truck for like a year and a half. So, actually going on 2 years. Now, what I have here is a 21 for the back side and a 15 for the front side. So, what you want is to start breaking that loose. Oh, come on. And I got a gear wrench. So, of course, I can, instead of having to annoyingly pull the thing off 500 times, all I have to do is just break it loose, which is what I've done. So next, what I'm going to do, since I'm already loose, you ain't got to take this all the way off. I see a lot of people, they'll pull this all the way off, and I'm like, what are you doing? That's pointless. So now what you need to do, and see, this is even oriented wrong. So this is actually supposed to be pointed back that way for negative camber. So where are my pliers? There are my chum locks right here. Go ahead and open these puppies up. I want to get a good grab, or good hold. As a matter of fact, I can get this out of my way. But I want to grab hold of it, spin it around a couple times. Sorry, I'm doing this one-handed. I didn't think about getting my tripod and setting it up, but I'm already on it. But yeah, if I can get this to loosen up just a little bit, there we go. I was able to get it to turn, even just a little. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a lift. That way I can get a pry bar under here and just pop this out of here. But let me just play around with this for a little bit. I'm not going to have you guys sit here and watch me twist on this thing repeatedly. So I'm going to, once I get a pry bar under it, I'll show you. But all you're doing is you're twisting it back and forth, if you can, to where you can get just enough gap underneath it to where you can get a pry bar under it and lift it up. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, so it took me a little bit, but I was able to get just enough to where I was able to get this corner in here. It started lifting up, so I was like, oh, let me start filming again. See, that's all it takes. All you're trying to do is just get a corner. Just a small piece is all you need to where you can get that on up out of there. And you might have to take your pliers and twist it a couple times, but all you got to do is it just pops out. It's not held captive or anything. But, I mean, it is right there if I get my big finger out of the way. But let me see if I can get this, one of these corners right here. So yeah, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to put a corner on here so I can have some leverage, a shoulder, so I can do something like that. That's what I'm looking for. And like I said, it should just pop right out, but this has been in here for a little while. Let me see if I wiggle this, because this has a little bit of, let me see here. All right, I'm going to have to get this out of here and come back. I'll be right back. All right, so I got it out. What I ended up doing was gripping the channel locks onto it, twisting it back and forth while lifting up with the pry bar on this back side over here. And that motion right there just allowed me to pry it right up. So I'm going to show you guys this one here. Like I said, this, let's see what number we got on here. So, now this right here says 2 degrees right here. Let me grab the new kit that I just bought. That might be why this one didn't get ate up so badly and the other side did. Because this one right here, it shows 2 degrees right here. I'm guessing that's 2 degrees, so I'm guessing I'd have to spin it all the way around. But the ones I bought are -2 degrees. Let's go over and take a look at it. Oh. That would be so weird if there are 2 different size bushings, camber bushings in here. That would be extremely weird if that's the case. I mean, it's not impossible, it's just weird. But the new ones are here in this packaging, so I'm going to open one up. I thought I had opened one already, I guess not. And I'm spending more time trying to open this thing up than I am actually making a video. Come on, there we go. Alright, so this here shows 4x2, 2 degrees. And then this right here is 4x4, 1 3/8 degrees. And you can see that's pretty thin. Let's see here. So yeah, this is actually thinner than that. So I don't understand why this says 2 degrees. I mean, maybe it's 2 degrees positive, but you can get 2 degrees positive or negative out of this. But if you look at them side by side, see how thick that where the slit is, and look how thin where this slit is. So the way I'm going to orient it is the slit facing back. And I mean, that should get the negative camber. We're about to find out. So let me get this set up. I'll be right back. All right. So as you can see, I have it oriented over here. And actually, this is actually pushed out towards me. So I'm going to rotate this, and as I do, I'm going to actually film the top of this so you guys can see that it starts to pull itself back in. I went too far. There we go. About like that, I guess. But now we're just going to tighten it back up, and it should ride a little bit better. And then we'll go to do the other side here shortly. Before we move further on, I wanted to apologize to you guys. I was actually wrong on the sizes. The inside, let's turn this around, is an 18. I think I said 21. But it's, let me see if I can clean this up. Maybe you can see a little better. Come on. Sometime today. There we go. 18 millimeter. And, you know, these are all gear wrenches. But yeah, you just put in on here. And then the 15's on this side, you know. And if you really wanted to get some good leverage going, you can get you a half-inch ratchet with a 15 millimeter, and you'd have all the leverage in the world. But I mean, all you got to do is pinch this. It's a pinch joint. That's all it is. So once it pinches down, it's not going anywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the tire back on, and we'll move to the other side. All right, so here we are on the other side. I'm about to loosen up this nut and bolt, and then we'll pull this one out. That one looks thicker, but I could be wrong. I don't know. We won't know until we pull that off. All right, so I think I might know where I got the 21 millimeter size from, and it's this. I think this is a different size than the other side. I could not get that 18 millimeter in here, so all I did was take my channel locks, hold it down, and just break it loose with the 15, which of course you're going to be going that way towards the other side, this side, you know. But yep, let's go ahead and pry this out of here, and let me turn the light on. There we go. It's a win-win. I can actually see what I'm doing, and so can you guys. So I want to first see if I get a corner over here to this split. Well, maybe if there you go, open those all the way up. But yeah, if I get that corner right there, oh, a little bit over more. There we go. You know, is it a possibility I can get that pry bar underneath it? And I might be able to get that out of there. We'll see. There are no guarantees. Not quite. No. Let me see if I wiggle it back and forth. Perhaps I'll get something. You know, maybe it'll start lifting up on its own. This side's a little easier to work with. Just don't want to damage this right here. That's your ABS sensor. So I'm getting a little carried away, and that actually lifted up just a little. But yeah, be careful of this right here. That's your ABS sensor, and that's your brake line. But I think it did lift up a little bit to where I can get. All you need is just to be able to get a corner in there. Just a little. I don't want to bend my dust shield. That's your dust shield. That keeps the debris and stuff, road debris, off of your brakes from the backside. Oh, there we go. There we go. Looks like I'm actually doing something, doesn't it? Alright. Let's see here. Maybe I can. Might pop all the way out. Oh. It's trying. Maybe I could twist it out with the channel locks. Come on. Come on. Come on out of there. Come on. I'm trying so hard to be careful of this ABS sensor. I do not feel like turning my truck on in the morning and seeing the ABS light on, you know, something else to have to fix. Because I've already got a vibration issue on this truck, and the, there we go. and the water pump. Let's see what we've got here. Let's see if I can clean this off and read it. Oh, this is the same. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it says it's really hard to read, but you've got 2 degrees here. And then this says 23/8 or 85 or what is that? 386. So 2386. And I actually brought the one from the passenger side over, so let's take a look at it. It's right here. Okay, so it's the exact same. You've got 2386. 2 degrees, but it looks like you can only get 2 degrees positive with this one. I don't know where I saw I thought I saw something that said like negative, or not negative, but a half a degree. But yeah, this right here, 268 or 2386, 2 degrees, and the same with this one. So I don't know if someone possibly put a lift kit on this truck in the, previously to me owning it. Well, I know the lady that had it before me didn't, but I'm wondering if the person before her did. This was a ranch truck, and it's just going back to being a ranch truck once I get into ranching. But yeah, here's the new one right here. Come on. So again, here's the new one, and you've got 4x2, 2 degree, and then 4x4, 1 3/8. So if I understand this right, your negative camber, you've got negative and you've got positive. So if I understand this right, if you've got a 2-wheel drive, which is what this is, then putting a lift kit on here, this will give you a 2 degree negative or positive. Whereas if you have a 4-wheel drive, you're only going to get 1 3/8 degree. So that's the best I can understand on here. So maybe I can do this one-handed. We will see. So that's facing all the way back there, which I don't need. Yeah, let me get this set up. I'll be right back. Alright, so as you can see, I've got that lined up with it. There you go. So you can see it's in there. So now I just need to persuade it to go down. So I've got this big, massive persuasion tool. It's fighting me. But let me fight this. I'll be right. If you guys can see it, I've got you stuck in my spring. So I'll try not to hit you guys. But that's not wanting to stay in there. Oh, come on. Let's see what we've got here. I just flipped it, didn't I? Darn. Just want to fight me the whole way. I'll be right back. Alright. As you can see, it's almost dark. I've been out here just beating on this thing and beating on this thing, but I finally got it down in there. I'm wondering if there's something wrong with this spindle. But I got it, so and I mean it rotates just fine. It's just it did not want to go down in here, and I don't get that. That's a new one to me. But yeah, I got this in here. We're gonna set it just like that. Oh shit. Alright, we're gonna tap it down. I don't see any gaps. You see any gaps, guys? Whew. I don't see any gaps. But you can see I've misshapen the hell out of this thing. It did not want to go down in there. But luckily I didn't damage my ABS sensor. But yeah, I had to take this all the way out. Because whew, it did not want to... Oh, actually this way. It did not want to go in, so what I ended up doing was sticking my pry bar down in this split right here. And I pulled back on it while I was ratcheting on it. But come on, there we go. All right, now, whew. I'm sorry for the lighting and the angle, but I'm gonna put everything back together just like this. Oh man. But hopefully when I put this tire back on here, actually I need to move this a little bit. I didn't realize I didn't have it exactly where I wanted it. I want this parallel with that. So this needs to be parallel with that, which is how I have it on the other side. That should work right there. Oh. Alright, put that back on there and continue ratcheting away. Now once it grabs it, I should be able to start. Well, it's not going to work like I expected, but I was hoping to draw back on it. And that not spin around on me, but that didn't happen. Okay. That's probably enough. Well, let me give it one more. One more ugga-dugga, right? Oh, darn it. Okay. Well, there it is. So now, I just need to put the tire back on. And go my butt in the house. I got one more day to work this week, tomorrow, which is Wednesday. And then we have a 4-day weekend. So my plan, I'm glad I got this squared away. Hopefully it will line up like it's supposed to. But now that I've got this squared away, this weekend I plan on pulling the valve cover on the passenger side of the 6.0, and I have what's called a bench buddy. It's a nylon impregnated bristles. You can stick them in not an impact, but a drill, and you can clean out. I used it for the transmission shifting solenoid housing. So you've got the not the solenoid housing. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of a different vehicle. The valve housing. So you have a bunch of valves for first, second, third, fourth, all that jazz. I pulled that out, and I ended up cleaning all of those out because I used to have a shift issue, and that went away. Like I said, the only thing that's wrong with the transmission is it leaks. Transmission shifts great until it leaks all the fluid out, and then it doesn't want to shift, and then it sounds like crap. It runs like crap. So, yeah. But let me go ahead and get this put together so I can go back in the house. Like I said, this weekend I will be making a video on the 6.0. I'm just going to be taking apart the upper portion of the injector, giving it a really good cleaning, lube it up, put it back together, and that should square away the issue. Because, like I said, I have a talent for hearing really high-pitched sounds. And when I was doing the buzz test on that 6.0, I could hear it humming. I could hear the electricity humming. So the electricity was going to number 3 injector, but I think the spool valve is hung up. And that's how it was when I got the truck. It was really bad spool valve. And so I bought some nipple cups. I have a good known injector that you guys saw on the video. The problem is that it's not staying on the nipple cup, so I think there's something wrong with the upper injector bore on the good injector. So, but that bore houses the spool valve. So, you know, if I've got a bad spool valve on that injector and I just swap it out, I'm just going to be swapping over the problem portion of the bad injector onto the good injector, so I'll have another bad injector, and that's just way too much work to put on anyone, only to run back into the same problem. But anyway, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Later, Gators.
Finding out what country really means, from the bright city lights to the small town scene.